scholars who also agree that that figure is representing the teapot asterism within the constellation of Sagittarius. No reference to that. Schock's opinions we're supposed to not go into the minutiae because they've already been dismissed by a study by Liritsis and Vafiadou. Far from it. That study doesn't dismiss Schock at all. None of that study was done on the body of the Sphinx itself. It was done in the valley and the Sphinx temples. And by the way, the dates are extremely troubling. Some of them could push it as far as 3,600 BC that the work was done, or as early in some cases as 1,000 BC. I don't think that study proves anything, and so on and so on.
Oh, this is so fast. This is the fastest run I've ever had at this boss.
So you don't think that the lost
of my entire life
instructed them on the use of metals?
Oh my God!
I don't see evidence for that.
But why would you put that in the book then?
I didn't put it in the book. I was quoting the Book of Enoch.
It's by far the fastest run I've ever had to this point
the Book of Enoch
in my life. 444. Let's go.
All I require your defant to do is to state that Hancock is citing the Book of Enoch. He didn't do that.
Okay.
That is, what's the word? Disingenuous? Is that the polite word you guys use?
But
it seems more than disingenuous. It's a character assassination.
Well, but the question is what's the context of including that in your book? I forget.
Well, the context is that actually I was criticizing Zechariah Sitchin. That's primarily what I was doing.
So you don't think that a lost civilization instructed the people who built Göbekli Tepe on the use of metals and tools?
I see no evidence for that. I see Göbekli Tepe. I can't go say they instructed them on the use of metals and tools unless I can find evidence for it.
Well, so what did they do?
We don't know.
They generated agriculture. They created a center of excellence around which a hunter-gatherer...
Not they who built Göbekli Tepe. The lost civilization that advised them that you think happened.
Yeah.
What did they do if they...
They've come through a cataclysm. They're survivors, few in number. This is my scenario. You don't have to accept it, I'm sure you don't. They settle take refuge amongst hunter-gatherers. I mean, I don't know, you're probably have some survival skills. I don't have many. I mean, if we were to have a comet impact in the world today, which were to take out all the underpinnings of modern civilization, I might go settle with hunter-gatherers because they're the people who know best how to live in that situation.
I have no survival skills.
Yeah, so go settle amongst hunter-gatherers, but I might be able to transfer some of my knowledge to them. I might have something that I could transfer to them, and I might have very strong reasons why I might not choose to transfer all of it.
But so
yes,
in other words,
yes, this is a fucking really good time. Come on.
How is that different from Zechariah Sitchin's? Well, the aliens advised them.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
Well, I don't need
pretty hyped. We'll take it.
Especially since Zechariah Sitchin has his aliens arrive.
I ran around the drone. I had to run around the drone. I had to do it. I had to do it. I had to do it. I would have passed away.
I don't go there. I don't make that suggestion. I'm simply saying, perhaps there's been a forgotten episode in human history.
Thank you for all the help, my man.
At a number of sites around the world,
but
perhaps the extremely defensive, arrogant, and patronizing attitude of mainstream academia is stopping us from considering that possibility, and therefore I campaign to get that possibility considered, and I try to do so with as
Yes.
Well, you're doing
yes, let's fucking go.
Doesn't it disturb you that you run Skeptic magazine and someone publishes something like that? I mean, that goes against the whole idea of critical thinking. I mean, it's misrepresenting
let's do it.
his quotes,
Well,
it's
in the
misrepresenting
books.
his perspective, his point of view. It's
okay.
really
I'm gonna upload it. I gotta do it right now.
But why would
I have
anybody
to.
write something
Should you
like
keep
that?
playing?
Why would
No,
you
I
guys
gotta do it right
publish
now.
something like that without checking the facts?
We are. This was not supposed to be posted online.
And why is
This
such
is
a
one of the reasons why
It's online though. How does something get online if it's not
why is such a
supposed to?
person who will do that a useful contributor to your side?
I gotta. I'll
one
do
of the
the
reasons we're
proof.
here
I'll do
is
the
to get your
Z's
point of view
proof.
exactly right. All
I'm
right,
not
so
gonna do
you're
the Z's
saying
proof
that
in
there's no
raw.
evidence that any lost
But we'll
civilization
do the Z's
exists.
proof.
Only the
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
only
saying
the fingerprints of their influence on later peoples we do know existed.
I'm saying there are physical objects. I say Göbekli Tepe is one of them. I say the Sphinx is another.
But see, this is that argument from either ignorance or personal incredulity. I don't accept the mainstream, or I can't think of how this pyramids could have been built, therefore it was built by somebody else through some other technology.
That's not what he's saying. They're just post-dating it. They're just.
What I'm saying is the Sphinx is older. I do go with Robert Schoch's argument on the geology. I'm also very interested in the astronomy of the site. And again, I have slides that I could show on this if we have time. You might want to get into Ed Krupp's criticism of the Orion correlation and why he says it's upside down. I can talk to you about that. You know.
We do. I mean, I know Ed Krupp's argument about that. And that was from the 90s, I think.
What's your thoughts on Robert Schoch's conclusions?
I don't. That's not something I know much about.
Well, you should.
That's a huge factor. It's a